Venus Digest books, a great sexy digest series of vintage paperbacks from the 1950s. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and I'm back. We're going to do a new look at this series of Venus Digests. This is not all of them. There are many of them, many more, but I just what I could find and dig out of my collection. I just want to show you these really great, have wonderful good girl art covers by a lot of famous artists, and they're really terrific books. So without further ado, I'm just going to go do a general rundown of the books, and we'll take a look. Venus Digests were published in the 50s. They had good girl art and were kind of sexy, sold under the counter, but they weren't pornography. They were really kind of romance. If you read them now, they're kind of romance with a little bit of a noir or a criminal twist. Some of them have very slight inferences in certain topics, like drugs or juvenile delinquency or something like that, like other digests have. But these were just pretty sexy books, and they were pretty cool. So we're going to take a look at them in no particular order, because why would I want to do that? I couldn't figure out, maybe they are in order. Well, anyway, we're going to start off with number 104, and so it's Beach Party. And a lot of these are written under pseudonym. This is number 119, No Time for Marriage by David Carlson. That's a pseudonym, but I'm not sure who it is. I have it in my book on the Sexy Digest. All that information is in there. Number 110 is Hard Boiled. A lot of these were reprints of Phoenix Press and other hardcovers. The original title of this was Struggle. But they changed the title to Hard Boiled. But it looks like a George Grosz cover. A lot of them had George Grosz covers, Raphael DeSoto, Rudy Nappi, and various other collectible artists and authors. This is Emotions of Fire by Peggy Gaddis. That was Florence Stonebreaker.
That's Nappi, right?
Yeah. This is Cutie, number 108 by Jean Harvey, with a Nappi cover.
No.
I mean, not Nappi, it's Dold, right?
Oh, that's not, is that our Cutie?
That's our painting.
No.
Yeah. We have the artwork.
It's, yeah, Howell Dodd.
Howell Dodd, right.
Howell Dodd.
Okay, so this is She Had What It Takes by Kermit Wells, number 128. That's a cover by Nappi. Cabin Hostess, number 196. This is a second printing, cover by Nappi. Original title was Unfaithful. You can see Nappi's signature very prominent down there. Now, some of these were reprinted with, when they were reprinted in the series, they were given another number. So this is number 196, second printing. The earlier one might have been in the 120s or 30s or 40s of this. Sometimes they used the same cover art, a lot of times. Sometimes they didn't. An example of that is Young Wife by Norman Bly. I don't know who did the cover art. It's number 151. And then the reprint, same cover, but different number, 177. So 151 or 177. The back covers sometimes are the same. Might be the same. Yeah, see?
It's a keyhole, but different picture.
They're similar. You know, if you looked at it right quick, you'd think it was the same, but it's not a different picture. And then this blue and red. So there's some differences.
Did they start at number 1 or 100?
No, they started at, I think, 101. And the Venus books uses the Venus de Milo as the trademark or their logo. But they have it in different, let me see if I can find a different version of it. Here's Take My Love by Peggy Gaddis. It's number 105, an earlier one. And here you see the Venus logo. in that style, which is one I like. I like that style better. And this is a great cover. Well, we'll continue. Flaming Love That Defied the Man-Made Rules. Runaway Lovers by Peggy Gaddis, 149. The back cover similar design. The Affairs of a Leading Lady by Jane Manning, number 150. The Naked Night by Norman Bly, number 120. She said she was bad, and they were right. Or they said she was bad, and they were right. Riley. Passion is a Woman by Kate Nickerson. That's a pseudonym. This is number 165, and it's signed, I think it's George Gross. It's just a great cover. The guy sitting back with a cigarette. These are really great. This guy's a good author to read in the digest. He only appeared in the digest. Albert L. Quant. This is Thrill Me Again, number 125. Cherry, Sweetheart of the Slums.
I love that cover too.
And Venus, 146. Call It Marriage by Gail Jordan. She learned the passion is not enough for love. Okay, so I'm going to move those out of the way, or is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move this out of the way. And then I'll go to another stack. We have Frenchie by number 145. She Had a New Idea About Love, A Wild One by David Clarkson. These are all pseudonyms, and all these books are listed in my book, The Sexy Digest, which lists all the series, the author, artist, pseudonyms, and everything, all the information on all of these books, which I wrote that book about 10 years ago, so I don't remember all of the information offhand because it's quite impossible. But I did all the research, and the book is still available in certain places, online and stuff. One Wild Night by Peggy Gaddis, 116.
Peggy Gaddis wrote a million of these too.
Yeah, Florence Stonebreaker. She wrote a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, all these authors wrote a lot of books under different bylines. This is a really cool one. Torch Singer by William Arnold, number 136. And you'll see as we go through these, you're going to see some covers, some books, the same book because they were reprinted, but just with a different number.
Panther, right? The
What?
Torch Singer. Is that a Phantom book? Or Panther book? Phantom. Torch Singer.
Yeah, but it wasn't that.
It's not Torch Singer, but it's that cover.
Yeah, it's not that.
A repainting of that cover.
Yeah, but it's not that book. Next one is Hired Girl by Amos Hatter, number 181. This was a whole genre all itself. The rural, country, kind of swamp, backwoods genre where poor folk live, and there's always like a hot young girl, and sometimes it's a guy who's interested in her. Sometimes there's an old guy, sometimes there's like fighting and stuff over the girl, and just different kind of cover motifs. And this is like sub-genre, the backwoods area genre. Number 161 is Army Girl by Whit Harrison, which is Harry Whittington. Harry Whittington books are very collectible, very good reads. The thing about all of these books, they were all written by writers who were quite good professionals in their day, and they could tell a really good story. And a lot of these have been reprinted because sharp publishers have kind of mined these books and taken books like Harry Whittington and Albert Quantz and others to reprint because they're just good books. They're crime, noir, juvenile delinquent, all good girl art and stuff. Number 111 happens to be by Albert L. Quant, Pickup Alley. It's a beautiful cover, her with the green dress, and it's just really nice. All of these are really cool. Young secretary, she learned about life and love in an office. Who would have thought? Joan Tucker, by Joan Tucker. Let's look at a few more back covers. So they had mostly a black and white photo. Sometimes they had photos inside, and they were posed by professional models to let everybody know. Next one is a real biggie. It's number 183, Young Sinners by Jane Manning. This is a girl of the slums in a mad search for teenage thrills. So it's a JD book, but it's also originally titled was Reefer Girl. So this is the retitling of Reefer Girl, Young Sinners. Again with the backwoods genre, Shanty Girl, number 159 by Joan Tucker. Oh, and then this is a Belarski cover also. Belarski did quite a few covers for these series, as well as Nappy and a lot of other people. The Innocent Wanton by Kermit Wells, number 144. She gambled for her future with her soul. Pleasure at Midnight, number 122 by Peggy Gaddis. Career Girl by Day, Call Girl by Night. She's like hanging out in the like a kind of a cabaret. Number 170 is Male Ward, the frank story of nurses and the men they serve by Mitchell Coleman. It's a nurse helping out the guys in the hospital. Journey into Ecstasy by Albert Alquant. She was beautiful, bold, and bad. Number 115. Painted Lips by Peggy Gaddis, number 127. Even a bad girl has her good moments. Love that. This one I got to upgrade. That I want to upgrade. Lady with a Past is number 132. Young Doctor, passionate story about a doctor, his nurse, and a love-hungry patient. And this is by Frank Haskell. It's number 191. It's probably a second printing. Rudolph Belarski cover. Signed down here, I believe. Farmer's Wife by Peggy Gaddis, number 160. Big city and bold, she was dynamite in the hill country. So she must have went home to the hill country and she was dynamite. Temptation by Peggy Gaddis, number 112. And this is by George Gross. And George Gross did a lot of covers, and he did a lot of really good covers. There's his signature right there. One of my favorite cover artists on these digests and on the magazines is George Gross. He was just terrific. Next one is Honey, Broadway Playgirl by Peggy Gaddis. Her heart was cold, but her lips were warm. I love the blurbs. Oriental Nights by Florence Stonebreaker. The strange love affairs of an exotic dancer. And that's another Rudy Nappy cover, signed right by him there. And here's the other version of Reefer Girl, Young Sinners that we saw before with the Belarski cover. So I might have two of those, or maybe it's a different number, because again, sometimes these were reprinted sometimes 3 and 4 times with different numbers each time. Albert Quant, Big Time Girl by number 129. I think this is George Gross, but I'm not sure, but this is just a terrific cover. Just great. Love it. Okay, so I'm going to move these out of the way. And we're going to go deeper into the realm of sexy digests. Lover Boy by Harmon Bellamy. The beautiful blonde could not escape her sinful past. And number 197. The exciting story of a hard-hearted model with a perfect body. Professional model. I don't know who did the cover, but I wonder if that was the artist painting his model. You know,
Wait, they're both wearing the same blouse.
Yeah. A lot of them,
very popular. There's a million covers with that blouse.
And that's what the models were told to wear. Number 169, Strip Street by Jean Harvey. Burlesque type cover. Maisie, Any Man's Girl by Gerald Foster. Number 103. It was one of the earlier Venus books. Well, that's the early Venus logo, and then they went to this logo here. Girl with No Past by Peggy Gaddis, number 101. This is probably Venus one, the first Venus book. Girl with No Past. Strip Street by Jean Harvey, 141. We already saw that, and that's here. So you can see that this is number 141. This is number 169. So they're reprints. They use the same covers again. Similar photo. I think it's
same photo, just one's in a keyhole.
One's cropped and put in a keyhole.
And the color is different in the cover too.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell upside down when I'm looking. The Doctor's Wife by Arthur Marin. She had a bedside manner of her own. Yeah. This is number 134. I hope you enjoy this look at these sexy digests. I think they're cute. I think they have a certain charm to them. And they're pretty nice. Number 142 is Unfaithful by Peggy Gaddis. Rudy Nappy. Again.
Rudy Nappy next to it, Doctor's Wife.
Yeah.
And the next one, that's Rudy Nappy too.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
She Tried to Be Good by Florence Stonebreaker. Number 133. The Amazing Story of Carrie, Daughter of Sin. She's hanging out at the bus stop waiting for the bus. But it turns out that somebody else came by and asked her if she wants a ride, and she's going to think about it. This is a Rudy Nappy. This is one of his best. There was some Nappy. I did an interview with Rudy Nappy, and he's an interesting guy. I did it for Illustration Magazine years ago. Tough Doll by Peggy Gaddis, number 131. Peggy Gaddis wrote a lot of these. They had a lot of the same authors because they could count on these authors to give a good story and to do it on time, to do it properly. And this is Beach Girl by Joan Sherman, number 171, and it's signed. But can you see who the artist signature is? Is it Ray Pease?
Yeah.
Ray Pease. Yeah. Okay. So now we've got Reckless, number 113. Shocking Tale of a Girl Who Said Yes Too Often.
We used that for your book show once. It's Bookless. I changed it to Bookless, and it was a shocking story of a girl who said no to books.
That was horrible. She should have been whipped for that, beaten. Okay, now the next one is Wild Sister 178, Kermit Wells. Don't know who did this cover. And the next one is another Albert Quant, Girl of the Slums. Number 121, Sin Street Was Her Beat. This Girl of the Slums. There was a lot of books that had to do with just slum areas that were all kinds of bad stuff went on, juvenile delinquency and drugs and adultery and all kinds of stuff, promiscuity, blah, 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 blah. And that was always in the slums in the bad part of town. Of course, none of that happened in the good part of town. We'll put these on the side, and we're going to go through another group. Now the nappy cover, Woman's Doctor by Frank Haskell. One Man in a World of Lonely Women. Yeah, there he was, a woman's doctor. So now he was trying to help out all these lonely women.
What a guy.
What a guy. What a guy. Next one is number 107. This is Playgirl by Norman Bly. Her flesh was gold, worth money to any man. And this is George Gross cover. And the original title is Once There Was a Virgin. If you could find all of the books that use virgin in the cover, you'd have you could write a book about all of them, telling a whole story about it. Because there's so many that used certain words, certain, buzzwords that the prospective book buyer would pick up on. And virgin was probably one of the most popular. Waterfront Club, The Story of Society Girls' Forbidden Love, Ruby's Place by Joan Tucker. I can't tell who the artist is. Can you tell the signature? Can you make it out? Is it Polarski? Don't know.
It's cut off.
Yeah. All right, don't worry. Army Girl by Whit Harrison. This is number 194. I think I showed this before. Story of a girl who couldn't live by regulations. I think I showed this.
Yeah, we saw Army Girl.
I think I saw this before, but not with the number. So they put a yellow with a higher number on it. This is the good one. Number 158. Girl on Parole by Whit Harrison. The burning story of a girl's hate and love. Girl on Parole, Harry Whittington. Remembered Moment by Norman Bly. Number 148. Weekend of Madness. Number 147 by Joan Tucker. Overnight by Norman Bly, number 106. Originally titled was Harlot in Her Heart, but now it's just Overnight. Number 114, Confessions of a Carnival Dancer. Should a man believe his eyes or his heart? Number 143, Lovers in the Sun by Joan Sherman. Number 124, She Couldn't Be Good. It Was Wrong to Be Bad, but a lot of bad girl stuff in these, you know. I like them. I like that. Lost to Desire is number 137 by Peggy Gaddis. A thrill-mad girl, a hunted man, and wild nights. So you can see there's a kind of a noir ambiance to a lot of these books. We've got two editions of Farmer's Woman by Peggy Gaddis. Don't know who did the illustration, but it looks like Volarski, I would think. But there's number 172, and that's a high number. So that might be a second or even third printing. And then this is number 190. It might be a third or a fourth printing of it. And pretty much the same. The type is a little different. Back cover is the same. Number 153 and 166 from 1952 is Sailor's Weekend by Whit Harrison or Harry Whittington, a vivid story of lonely men and bitter women. And here's number 153. It's by Whit Harrison, but it's Harry Whittington, 1952. And then this is the reprint, 166. And Herb Toss did the cover. There's his signature down there. Night Nurse. She was lovely and warm. Just What the Patient Needed, number 192 by David Charleston. So this is probably a third printing. Backwoods Girl by Peggy Gaddis. An exciting story of passion in the hill country. That's like probably the quintessential perfect backwoods genre cover for girl, and then a guy watching her. And the last one in this group is She Wanted Love by Joan Sherman, a romance as torrid as any you've ever read. This is number 102. So there you have it. A smattering, a taste, a look at Venus Sexy Digest vintage paperbacks. I hope you enjoyed this excursion into the art world of Sexy Digest cover art, and books that used to be around quite often at book shows and pulp shows and stuff, but they're kind of have been snapped up and in all different kind of collections and stuff. So they're not seen that often, at least not this many at once. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, let people know about the channel, and we're going to do more videos soon, and see you the next time. Thanks for looking.